What is going on, everybody? We're live. Welcome to Saturday Night Live with your boy Alan. Boy, we're in some trouble this week. We've got bye weeks. We've got where do I have it? I got it right here. The Eagles, Titans, Chargers, Lions, all on the bye. Injuries galore. What are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do? We're gonna sit here and we're just gonna figure it out. How's that sound? Hope that sounds good. Hope everyone had a good week last week. I know I've got a bunch of moves I got to make because I had guys that are on bye weeks or out, and so I put other guys in, and now those guys are out. I I don't know what to do, man. Samir White, what am I going to do with this guy? He's now been ruled out, so Anthony Matheson is the guy. Who's going to be leading the backfield there. Uh, Edits Plumlee, Joe Flacco or Trevor Lawrence. Joe Flacco, as long as he's playing. I don't like Trevor Lawrence. He's been awful this year. And I mean, Flacco just in his limited time last week was great. Made Michael Pittman relevant again in just a small period of time. Flacco's shown that he can still come in and sling that ball, right? He was what did he have last week? 168 yards and 2 touchdowns in limited play. So yeah, if if Flacco's playing, I'm playing Flacco. And with Flacco playing, I can now play Michael Pittman because let's just be honest, you couldn't with Anthony Richardson in there. I think that's for people who still own Anthony Richardson. I think his injury is kind of the best news for you because he shouldn't have been playing him. If you've been listening, if you've been listening to me, I've been saying don't play him, and he hasn't been good. He's boom or bust, right? He's either going to throw a 60-yard touchdown or he's going to fart and fall down. And majority of the time he would fart and fall down. What's up, Michael? How we doing, brother? How we doing? How are you guys dealing with 40 all the bye weeks and just the injuries? They just keep. I mean, I just as I'm sitting here looking at one of my teams, I saw another guy who's out that I completely forgot about. I mean, I wasn't playing him, but I mean Zamir White out. Um, if you own Anthony Matheson, you can go ahead and put him in. Doing good, doing good. How about you, brother? You know what? As soon as I figure out all these injuries, I'll be all right. Um, I need to go ahead and because I had Shakir in my lineup in this league. He's out, but I got Debo on my bench that I can plug and play. That was me weeks 1 through 4, man. No buys edits. Damn, lucky. Um, of course, I've been big with the Lions this year. J.K. Dobbins, I've been big on this year. So those guys are out. As well as, I mean, if you got any of the Eagles, although I mean the only Eagle healthy worth playing these days is Saquon. AJ Brown's out. Devontae Smith is out, or Devonta Smith is out. So I got to pick up a defense. In this league right here, I got to pick up a kicker. I got to pick up a defense. I got to pick up a tight end because they're all on a bye this week. I have Sam Laporta, Jake Bates, in the Tennessee defense. As I'm saying, Goff and Dobbins, my starters are out. Okay, you got some. Who do you got on the bench? Hopefully, you got somebody good. Just a heads up, guys. I mean, it's only 24% of leagues, but Baker Mayfield's still out there in 24% of leagues. If you don't have, if he's available in your league, go pick him up. Go pick. I don't know what you're waiting for with Baker. He had himself another good week this week. You know, the passing yards aren't absurd, but it's the touchdowns, right? And that's what you want. You know, he had 180 yards and 3 touchdowns this last week. Last week he got you 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. So I mean, Baker's been doing what he's been doing here lately. Justin Fields is starting to kind of crawl into fantasy relevance. Started Walker and White. All right. Yeah, hopefully White does all right this week. I'm just looking here, like if you need a running back, Tyrone Tracy is out there in 83% of Yahoo leagues right now. It's looking like he's going to be the guy that gets the start there in New York, with Devin Singletary listed as doubtful. Devin Singletary is probably not going to play. It's going to take a miracle for that guy to play. Tyrone Tracy is a guy that they drafted to play, and it looks like he's going to get the start this week, and he's out there in the majority of your leagues. So if you need a running back, there's a guy you can go ahead and pick up. Although no Malik Neighbors there in New York this week either. So let's see what's this guy? Let me look up this other guy here just to see what his availability is. Wan'Dale Robinson is available in about half your leagues right now. He's been getting a nice target share over there. He had 11 receptions last week, 7 the week before, 2 week 2, and then 6 week 1. He's not lighting the world on fire, but I mean 14, 8, 4, and 12 target share, and no Malik Neighbors this week. So Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be your number 1 target out there in New York. If you're affected by Devontae Adams being out, Malik Neighbors, Khalil Shakir, Rashee Rice, Cooper Kupp still out. That's why I picked up Seahawks D. Neighbors out, Singletary out. Yeah, you haven't seen the official ruling on Singletary. He's still listed as doubtful, but I mean, if you're listed as doubtful, you're not playing, right? Same thing with I was just talking about when the show started up. Anthony Richardson's going to be out. Hopefully, you got rid of him while you could, right? And Flacco is I'm all aboard the Flacco train. If you need a quarterback, go get yourself Joe Flacco. And that makes Mike Pittman relevant again. So do with that information what you will. But I like Joe Flacco. I like the receivers for the Colts more with Flacco in there. Let's see here. What we got, Chandler? I'm projected 138 to my opponent 98. He's thrown in the towel. He has like 3 people in his lineup because of bye weeks. I'm 3-1, want to go 4-1. I have Goddard and Ingram. Do I drop Ingram for Parkinson or just pray? Parkinson hasn't done much lately. Hell yeah, I dropped Huntley to get Flacco. Yeah, I mean, Huntley's trash. We can say that, right? Huntley's trash. He's not good. Parkinson hasn't done what I thought he was going to do with the other guys out. Let me just double check on that. I mean, he hasn't 4 catches, 33 yards, 3 catches, 21 yards, 1 for 12, 4 for 47. I still think you have a higher ceiling with Evan Ingram. Ingram is questionable. He has 1 point this year. He had 1 catch for 5 yards week 1. Hamstring injury and pregame warm-ups back in week 2, and now seems he's listed as questionable. I mean, I think I hold on to Ingram, right? I don't pick up Parkinson, but Ingram's not going to play this week, so you need someone for this week, okay? Because Goddard's out. I don't think Ingram plays. He's listed as questionable. Let me look at something. Let me look at something here real quick before we get out of control here. How's that sound? What do we got here? I'm just looking at a few other guys who are available who might be able to do something. I just don't trust Cody Parkinson. Just to be honest with you, I just don't trust the guy. Because you need someone for this week. More than likely. Yeah. And I almost want to say Yeah, I guess we do drop Ingram. We're not getting rid of Goddard, right? Um, hold 2 tight ends, so it's likely projected to win by 40, but that don't mean anything. It doesn't, Chandler. Um, and when he comes back, it's Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been bad this year, right? Trevor Lawrence he hasn't been good. Um, Trevor Lawrence is unplayable. I would just go ahead and be on the record and saying that I'm not playing Trevor Lawrence. 169 yards, 170 yards. He had 2 touchdowns last week. I mean, you got to pick someone up, right? Conklin or Gasset. I kind of like Conklin's looked good the last 2 weeks. I worry about jet lag though. They got the early game tomorrow morning, like 8 a.m. or something like that, Central Time, because they're playing over there in London. Uh, I typically try to stay away from guys that have that London game. Although I'm still going to play Sam Darnold, guys. Let's just be honest. Um, Sam Darnold's been great this year, and I don't see any reason for him not to continue it. But I kind of on the maybe Conklin. Like I said, I was just looking at Conklin. Um, Let me go back over here to the tight ends. Conklin's a guy who's available in majority of your leagues, right? I mean, he's available in like 71% of leagues. His target share has gone up the last 2 weeks. 6 targets week 3, 8 targets last week, 5 catches for 93 in week 3, 4 catches for 17 yards last week. Weeks 1 and 2, he only had 2 targets with 1 catch in each one of those games. 6 yards and 10 yards. Yeah, I don't really trust Gasecki either. I mean, Cincinnati hasn't looked really good. He had 1 target last week, 5 the week before, 9 week 2, 4 targets, 3, 7, 4, 1 are his catches. He had 1 catch last week for -9 yards. That's not good. Um, I'm almost getting to a point. It's not working out for catches. I'm almost wanting to, instead of Gesicki, go with Eric All. Um, I like All. He's getting more targets. He's catching all of his targets. He's had 4 targets and 4 catches the last 3 weeks. 32, 22, and 28 yards though. So he's not getting a ton of yardage there. Um, I like All more than I like Gesicki. Conklin, you've got some potential there, right? Aaron Rodgers does love his tight ends. He's gotten more targets the last couple weeks. Um, All junior fan Andrews about on the waivers worth anything. Yeah, I mean, Mark Andrews has been dropped left and right this week, guys. But he hasn't done anything. Hasn't done anything at all. I think I'd go with Parkinson. I'm gonna go ahead and say Parkinson. I mean, he hasn't done much. Do I say Parkinson? Let me stop. I got to keep stopping myself. I mean, he's still getting the targets. He's just not getting a ton of yards. 4 catches, 3 catches, 1 catch, 4 catches. 5 targets, 2, 5, 7. But I mean, his highest yardage output was week 1 with 47, then 12, 21, 33. I mean, I don't know. I don't like any of those options. What's up, Andre? McBride for the Cardinals will play tomorrow. I haven't heard anything about McBride. Let's take a look and see what the latest report on McBride is. He's still listed as questionable, and he was downgraded to questionable. He's cleared concussion protocol, but he's now dealing with a rib injury. Is uncertain when the injury occurred, but late week injury additions are never a good sign for a player. Chances of suiting up. So eh, you don't know. You don't know with McBride. He might be out another week, guys. Um, like I said, he was downgraded late, and it's ribs. He's no longer dealing with a concussion. He's now dealing with a rib injury. So keep your eyes on it. We gotta get back. We gotta get back to Michael. We gotta help him with tight end. I mean, you are expected to win by 40 points, but you can't go off of that. Who are some of the guys that are out there in your league, Chandler? Let us know. Okay. Oh wait, you did right there. Park, Strange, Theo Johnson, all Fant. How's Fant looked? I heard his name a lot in the Detroit game. Two targets for 26 yards. 6 targets week 3, 3 targets, 4 targets, 2, 1, 6, 2 catches, 11, 14, 60, 26 yardage. He's been dealing with a toe issue, it looks like. Yeah, I don't really like Fant. Um, let's go Conklin. You might be able to drop Ingram and pick him back up, to be honest. But even when he comes back, um, what's he going to be worth with the way that Ingram's not going to be the difference between Trevor Lawrence playing good and bad. Like we can all agree on that, right? Getting Evan Ingram back isn't all of a sudden going to make Trevor Lawrence good this year. But Goddard, I think Goddard's a solid play going forward. So I think you're okay with dropping Ingram, picking up Conklin for this week, and then possibly picking him up. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to you here in a second, Hunter. Next question is: would you play Ayuk over Wandale, Wick, and Shaheed? Pick 2 wide receiver, 1 flex from these players. Thanks. Conklin isn't available. That sucks, Chandler. Okay. I, the whole Ayuk thing is crazy, right? Um, it is full PPR. I like Wandale this week with Malik Neighbors being out, so he's going to be the number 1 target there. Um, Wick, Wick balled out last week, right? Is he going to continue to do that? Now, there's no Christian Watson this week. Romeo Dobbs is good. They suspended him for the game, so you got some less. That all of a sudden that receiver room is a little less crowded, but you also got to kind of worry because Wick's got a huge target share, 13 targets, 5 catches, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Before that, the week before, 2 targets, 0 receptions. Week 2, 4 with 3 catches, 26 yards and a touchdown. Week 1, 3 targets, 0 receptions. So is that just going to be an outlier week? That's what you got to worry about. Shaheed's a guy though that I do like Shaheed. I've been talking about him week in, week out. You've got a lot of big play potential there with Shaheed. He got us back in the he had the one bad week, week 3, right? Outside of week 3, last week he got you 11 targets, 8 catches, 83 yards. I like Shaheed. They're playing Kansas City, so they're going to have to score a lot. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I don't know that I'm not starting Ayuk over Shaheed. I don't know what to do with Ayuk because he's not happy. It's like he wanted to get paid. They paid him, and now he doesn't want to be there with the way that he's acting. If I got to pick, I got to pick 2 of those 3. Well, pick your wide receiver 2 and a flex. Yeah, I'm probably going Wandale and Shaheed is where I'm leaning on that one, Siobhan. All right, Hunter. Let's see. Did you got your question in here? My JJ, Deontay Johnson, Chuba, and Brooks. For Neighbors, Devonta Smith, Connor, and Keon Coleman. Old school, what's going on, brother? How we doing tonight? Hope life is treating you good, man. Hope you're doing good, man. Thanks for coming in. Hunter, is this a Is this a redraft or is it a dynasty league? Let me know, man. I don't like. I'm assuming JJ's Justin Jefferson. Deontay Johnson's better with Andy Dalton in there. Chuba, how much longer is Chuba going to be relevant? Redraft, okay. So you get when Neighbors is out, Smith is out. Keon Coleman hasn't been great. I mean, if we can all agree on that. Connor, man, I don't know that I pull the trigger on that, man. I don't think that I do. I think I want to keep Justin Jefferson for sure. Deontay Johnson is going to be more relevant with Andy Dalton in there. It's not Bryce Harper anymore. Or not Bryce Harper, Bryce Young. We're not talking baseball here. Chuba, I like Chuba right now. Is Jonathan Brooks going to be coming back soon? Is he going to be taking some shine off of him? I'm not sure. I like Neighbors. I like Devonta Smith, but they're both injured right now. Who knows when they come back? Who knows what we're going to get with Keon Coleman? He hasn't been that great this year. I think I stand pat. Hunter, I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to make that move. Had some Oktoberfest beers at the local. Just there you go, old school. Some nice, tasty Oktoberfest beers. I like it. I like it. Let's see here. What we got here? Adam, Antonio Gibson, or Tyrone Tracy, or Matheson for running back, full PPR. Also, Josh Downs or Brandon Ayuk, all players still on waivers. Brandon Ayuk's on waivers? Wow. Man. I don't. Antonio Gibson. How long? I mean, you're looking like he's probably going to be getting the start. Have they officially said they're benching Ramondre? I've been out at the ball fields all day today, guys, so I haven't. Kiddo had a tournament. Let's see here. Will start. He is going to start. Ramondre is getting benched for fumbling 4 straight games. So I like Antonio Gibson then. Okay. Let's see here. What else we got? I kind of like Tyrone Tracy this week. Matheson, he's looked all right this year. No Devontae Adams. I don't know about that whole situation. I mean, if you're asking me if Josh Downs or Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to take Brandon Ayuk, right? In that option, yes. Running back wise, I like Tyrone Tracy this week. I like Matheson this week. I like all 3 of those guys this week. PPR, you're going to get more action out of Antonio Gibson, I feel. You've already seen a decent production out of him the last couple weeks. 3 catches, 8 yards, 67 yards last week up against Miami. That's a good matchup for running backs. Give me Antonio Gibson. I don't know how many players I'm supposed to be picking there, but out of those 3, I'm going to take Antonio Gibson this week. As far as the 2 wide receivers there, Josh Downs, Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to take Ayuk, although I'm not big on Ayuk, but I like him more than I do like Josh Downs. I'm going to tell you how I've been talking about this. I made the proclamation a couple weeks ago. Travis Etienne is a TD dependent running back now. He hasn't looked good. The whole Jags team hasn't looked good. You're going to be getting and you're going to be getting a new coach there soon. I mean, they have to with the way that team's been playing. I don't want. Etienne's a guy that I didn't go in on this year, and I'm glad I didn't, so I don't have to make that choice. Every week I have someone who comes in here and asks me to play Etienne or Ford, Etienne or Ford, Etienne or Ford. I've been going Ford in that option, but I just don't like the Etienne situation. I don't like the coaching situation there. They got to get rid of that coach, get someone in there, get somebody new in there. Trevor Lawrence looks like crap. Etienne hasn't been good this year. If he doesn't get a touchdown, his numbers suck. I just don't like it. I don't want to play Etienne. I would try and trade him if I could, if I had him. Hunter, I'm a Jags fan, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Yeah. You have to grab Ayuk no matter what. Yeah, I mean, I'm grabbing Ayuk. If Ayuk's a free agent, I'm grabbing him off the waiver wire. That's all there is to that. I want Ayuk. That's all there is to it. Yeah. He is. He's too good. Let's see here. Dealing with Rashi. Yeah. I mean, IR, who knows? Gibson starting. Thanks, bro. I will sub for sure. Okay, let's see here. Siobhan, sorry I missed. Sorry, I needed one flex. Also, so Ayuk or Wicks, you pick Shaheed and Wandale for the 2 wide receiver spots earlier. So one flex and it's Ayuk or Wicks. I again, I'm concerned with Wicks that it was just in a 1 week outburst is what I'm concerned with. Now again, Christian Watson is out. Romeo Dobbs is suspended. That might help you in that situation. I don't like the Brandon Ayuk situation right now. I wish I did. Now again, if he's a free agent, I'm picking up Ayuk, right? Um if you I feel like if I say Wicks, Ayuk's going to have a big week. And if I say Ayuk, Wicks, right? I don't like picking. I guess I got to pick someone, right? Um who's Green Bay playing this week and who's the 49ers playing this week? Let me take a look here. And let me just kind of look like okay, so I do like the matchup against Arizona for Ayuk. 5 targets, 10 targets, 5 targets. Catches are 2, 4, 5, 2. Let's look at Ayuk to break it out this week. I'm gonna take Ayuk over Wicks. That's what I'm gonna do. Uh Lost Rice and Devontae's on a bye. That sucks. Yeah. Um let's see here. Start 2 PPR. I don't like Dowdle at all. Um Chase Brown looked good last week. How much work is he actually going to get this week? I'm still I do like him. I do like Chase Brown, but I like Antonio Gibson and Tyrone Tracy more, I think. So if I'm picking 2 PPR, going Antonio Gibson 100% for sure out of those. I don't like Rico Dowdle. I don't like the Cowboys running backs at all, especially going up against this tough Pittsburgh defense. I don't like them. Antonio Gibson for sure, and I want to lean towards Tyrone Tracy. I know it's sneaky, but that's what bye weeks do and zero RB do. Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, I hear you. I do like Tyrone Tracy. I do like Chase Brown. I would like to see a little bit more out of Chase Brown before I start going all in on him. Chase Brown's a guy that I kept in my dynasty leagues, hoping for him to step up this year. I think he's looked good. He looked good last week. How's that sound? But Devin Singletary is doubtful. He's probably not playing. So Tyrone Tracy's going to get the start there. I'm going to go Antonio Gibson, Tyrone Tracy is what I'm going to lean at. Um, that's where I am at. All right, what we got here? Raphael, start 2 PPR, Chase Brown, but Charbonnet's not getting much action now. Now that Kenneth Walker's back, Akers. I mean, we got Mixon again. Mixon's out again. What did Akers do last week? I know they're playing Buffalo, 13 for 53. I just don't like Akers. I think we've seen what Akers is, and what he is not good. He's just not good. Um, what's Kraft doing? I mean, Kraft hasn't been great. You're looking at two catches. Last week was a big outlier with 6, but you also had Jordan Love throw like 50 passes last week. I'm just concerned. I'm concerned with that Green Bay situation because of the high number of passes last week. I don't want to buy in on Wicks yet. Kraft, not necessarily. I got to pick 2. I'm gonna go Chase Brown. I don't want to say it, but I want to say Akers. You at least know he's gonna have more opportunity than Kraft is and Charbonnet. So I'm gonna go with the guy who has more opportunity because he's gonna get the ball more than the other 2 guys. I like Charbonnet if Walker's out, but unfortunately, unless I completely miss something, Walker's playing. Yeah, Walker's playing. So when Walker's playing, you ain't getting anything out of Charbonnet. So I'm going Chase Brown. I'm going Akers. I'm just picking Akers. I don't like Akers, but more opportunity. He's just going to get the ball more. Who should I start? Shaheed or Wandale? Wandale Robinson. I like Wandale Robinson this year. Um, I like him this week, but I like Shaheed more. We've seen more. We've seen more out of the. I trust the offense more in New Orleans than I do in New York, and they're going to have to score in bunches. So I like Shaheed over Wandale this week. I do like Wandale this week, but if you're giving me the option between Shaheed and Wandale, I'm playing Shaheed and I'm not playing Wandale. That's where I'm going with that, Jesse. Old school. How much are things affected for players just by matchup and game plans week to week? It just depends on the team. I mean, yeah, you've got some teams that you take a look at. I mean, I think the biggest thing is on your I look at the matchups when I'm looking at my second tier players, my third tier players. When you're looking at the best of the best, like Justin Jefferson, I don't care week to week matchups. I'm playing Justin Jefferson every week. I'm playing CD Lamb every week. I'm playing Jamar Chase every week, right? Yeah, I'm playing Pat Mahomes every week. I'm playing Joe Burrow every week. You know, your stars you're playing every week to week. I don't care about the matchup. Now, when you start looking at some of these other players, that's where you look at your matchups and you look at that week to week. Your stars, it doesn't matter. It's your second, your third tier players where that matters for me. Brian Robinson is out. Would you start Chase Brown or should I pick up Tracy from New York? Um, I hope Brian Robinson isn't out. I like Brian Robinson. I like Brian Robinson a lot this week, and of course, yes, you're hoping the same thing too. Um, What's the latest on Brian Robinson? He's listed as questionable. So I'm seeing he's good to go. I'm seeing Brian Robinson is good to go. That was reported earlier today for Brian Robinson. So hopefully you don't have to deal with that. Um, I wouldn't drop Chase Brown for Tracy because Tracy just might be a one and done type thing. Once Singletary comes back, unless Tracy just really stands out, right? That's still Devin Singletary's backfield. Chase Brown, we saw an uptick last week. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come. As like I said, I have stock in him in my dynasty leagues, and I'm waiting for him to pick it up. So you should, yeah, that UNLV. That's I was just reading that right now that Brian Robinson looks good to go. So keep an eye on it in the morning just to make sure nothing changes because obviously something could change. But what I'm seeing is Brian Robinson looks good to go this week. So, let's see here. Should I drop Braylon Allen, Keenan Allen, or Trey Tucker for Lad McConkey? Would have to play Braylon, Keenan, or Trey Tucker if I get Lad. He's on a bye PPR league. I like Braylon Allen, to be honest with you. I think Braylon Allen has looked good this year when he's gotten in there. And the nice thing about that is if not Brandon. I don't want Brandon Allen. Hold on here. I'm trying to pull up the information on Braylon. Give me 1 second. Why is he not pulling up? I can't get him to pull up. That's weird. Yeah, I like Braylon Allen. I think he's looked good at what time he's played. I don't like Keenan Allen, to be honest with you. I would probably drop Keenan Allen for Lad McConkey. Um, I I I just don't think Caleb has looked really good this year. I don't. He had 3 targets last week, 3 catches, 19 yards. Week 1, he had 11 targets, 4 catches for 29 yards, and then he's been hurt. I think I would drop Keenan Allen for McConkey. That's what I would do. Trey Tucker. I'm not too familiar with what Tucker's been doing this year. Let me look him up real quick. 6'5". I mean, he's looked good the last couple weeks. Might look good again this week. So do you want to pick up? Do you want to pick up Trey? If you're picking up Trey Tucker, he's still available. You might be getting him ahead of the rush on him. If he has another big week this week, I see a big rush on him, especially with Vegas is going to be trading Devontae, right? I would drop Keenan Allen for either one of those guys, McConkey or Tucker. Is it? Let me ask you this: are you a redraft or a dynasty? Because that does make a difference. In a dynasty, it's McConkey, 100% McConkey, because McConkey's got the brighter future, right? Dynasty, he's probably not available, so we're probably looking at a redraft here. But that I like McConkey. Yeah. Brian Robinson or Najee this week, PPR. That's a tough one because here's the thing. Pittsburgh is playing Dallas, and Dallas is dog crap against the run. They're just trash against the run. So Najee could redraft league. Yeah, I still think I'm going McConkey, Lex. I like him. I like McConkey. I really like Brian Robinson though, and he looks like he's a go. He is dealing with a knee injury. But does Najee Harris have a big week this week? Going up against Dallas, which sucks against the run, which is without Micah Parsons and Lawrence. You just haven't gotten much production out of Najee. He hasn't found the end zone yet, which sucks. But I think that changes this week. He rushed 13 times for 19 yards last week. Three catches, 54 yards. But Brian Robinson is just playing great this year, guys. Like, I really like Brian Robinson this year. He is dealing with a knee injury. He's got a great matchup against Cleveland. I can see him going for 100 yards and a touchdown this week. Najee, man, give me Najee this week just because of the matchup. And this is one of those old school you're asking about matchups and do they play a part? And this is one of those ones where I think the matchup does play a big part in it with Najee, who hasn't looked that great this year, but he's getting a favorable matchup. A matchup in the Cowboys where they can't stop the run. Their top two defenders are out. I think Pittsburgh's going to run all over them. And so I think with Najee, you got the potential for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think you've got more potential with Najee this week than you do with Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson's a safe play. So let me word it like this. Brian Robinson's your safe play, Lex. Najee is your I'm going for it all play. Najee has the higher ceiling this week than Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson's your safe play, 100 yards, probably a touchdown. Najee could have you over 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns this week. So, are you shooting for the moon or are you playing it safe? You're playing it safe, start Brian Robinson. If you're shooting for the moon, you go Najee. Najee might backfire on you, but you have a higher ceiling with Najee. What do I do with Mahomes? I mean, I'm in the same boat. I got Mahomes in a couple leagues. He can't stop turning the ball over. The guy turns the ball over every freaking week. Every week, guys. He's already got 5 interceptions this year. He hasn't looked good. He's got 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But here's the thing. It's Pat Mahomes. Are you going to put Pat Mahomes on your bench? Because when you bench him, he's going to ball. He's going to ball. it sucks. Rice is out. Um, Hollywood never saw the field. I would need to know who your other option is, Andre. Um, but I'm not dropping Mahomes, but I might consider benching him depending on who you got. Now he does have a good matchup this week against, or I'm sorry, not a good matchup. It's a little bit of a tougher matchup, a tougher defense with the Saints. Um, but again, it is Mahomes. He started the year off a little rough the last couple of years. Travis Kelsey stepped it up last week. You really need Kelsey to step it up in order for Mahomes' numbers to improve. But I mean, he's also making just some bad choices. Let's just be honest. Um, he needs Xavier Worthy to step it up 100%. But it just depends on if you have the balls to bench Mahomes and who you got, right? Maybe you got someone and it makes it an easier decision for you. You're like, hey, I've got I've got Sam Darnold this week. That Jets defense isn't what it used to be. It hasn't been that great, and Sam Darnold's looked great this year, right? I might bench Mahomes for Sam Darnold. Crazy, right? But I would definitely consider it. Um, it's tough, right? Hey man, someone offered me CMC. Nope. Um, and Olave for Mason and JSN. This trade for the next week. Thoughts? My other RBs are Barkley and Gibbs. No, you don't take CMC. CMC might not see the field this year. And Mason, I like Mason. I do. Olave's been okay this year. JSN, I like JSN. Um, but I don't take CMC. Nope. Especially if you got Barkley and Gibbs, right? If you don't have Barkley, you have Barkley and you have Gibbs, you don't need CMC. And you got Mason. I mean, Mason's been great. And if CMC doesn't see, even CMC's dealing with it. You, we we could see a remember Todd Gurley where he was awesome and then just gone. That could be CMC. Arthritis in the Achilles on both legs. Uh, we could have seen CMC could be done. Done. No. No, 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 no. Trey Sermon. What are we doing with Trey Sermon? I mean, obviously he's the starter this week. You're going up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favorable for um, running backs. Um, Shane Steichen has come out and said it's going to be a running back by committee type thing. So you're going to be seeing Trey Sermon and Tyler Goodson. I I think it is a little risky to play Trey Sermon. I think you see a lot of passing out of the Colts. Now, is Trey Sermon going to pick some of that up? Maybe, but I like Michael Pittman this week with Flacco starting. I want to, and George, you've got Barkley and Gibbs, who are both on bye weeks. Okay. As I said that, I go crap. They're both on a bye week. You do have Mason. Are you playing two running backs? What are we looking like here? Do we have another running back on the roster? Let me know what we got, George. I mean, it is risky, right? But you're playing Mason this week, and we're feeling good about playing Mason every week. And Bucky, okay. And you started Bucky, okay. So yeah, I'm not. So if we're talking about Mason, I'm considering Trey as my flex. What are your other options for your flex? What are your other options? Darius, I just answered this question a minute ago. I'll answer it again. Should I start, sit Wandale or Rashid Rice? You only get to pick one. I'm going, not Rashid Rice, Rashid Shaheed. I'm going with Shaheed. Um, I trust the New Orleans offense more than I do the New York offense. I do like Wandale this week without Malik Neighbors, but I like Shaheed better in that New Orleans offense, and I trust that offense more. Um, yeah. Georgia and Brian Thomas Jr. and Amari Cooper as my wide receivers. Flex. Okay, so these are your options for your flex. DJ Moore. I like Keon Coleman this week with no clear Shakir, Jackson Smith and Jigba and Downs. Man, there was a time where I just would have been like DJ Moore and not even hesitated, but that time's not now with Caleb Williams, to be honest with you. It's the worst thing that happened to DJ Moore is Caleb Williams right now. He's getting a ton of targets, 8, 10, 10, 6. He's just 5, 6, 8, 3. But I think you said you're what are we it's non PPR, so that those receptions don't matter. You're looking for a guy to get in the end zone, and DJ Moore's not that guy. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who are they playing this week? Let's look it up here. They're playing I like Jackson Smith. I don't know. I might like Jackson Smith and Jigba going up against the Giants. The problem is you're not getting any touchdowns there either. He hasn't gotten the end zone yet. We got it. We got to get you. We got to get you a guy who's going to get in that end zone. I kind of want to lean. I kind of want to lean Keon Coleman, but they're going up against Baltimore, the best team, really good defense. DJ Moore, Keon Coleman, Jackson Smith. I'm not considering Downs. I'm leaning Keon, Jackson Smith. I like Keon because you got no Shakir this week, right? So that I think that helps play in the rookie's favor. Now he's not getting a ton of targets. Give me Jackson Smith. Give me Jackson Smith. I'm gonna go. You're. I just think it's just a better play. The Seattle offenses look good. JSN has looked good this year. I mean, let's just look at the numbers, right? He's getting the targets. 12 targets last week. He had 3 the week before. Okay. 16 in week 2, 2 week 1. But you're looking at 2 catches, 12, 3, 8. Again, that doesn't matter, but he's getting the ball, right? He's getting the targets, he's getting the ball. They're finding ways to get him the ball. 19, 117, 39, 51 are your yards. Going up against the Giants, I like the matchup. I think he's your best play there. Let me just double check Downs. I mean, I say I'm not taking Downs, but do we want to base everything off of 1 week for Downs is what it's boiling down to, right? He's on he was only on the field for 51% of the offensive snaps in week 3. That was his first week. I do like Flacco. I'm sticking with Jackson Smith. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jackson Smith there. I like that. I like that matchup. Now he does have favorable with Jacksonville. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jackson Smith. That's what I'm gonna go with. I just don't trust I don't trust Caleb Williams to get DJ Moore the ball a lot. Caleb just hasn't been good. You know, I like DJ Moore, but I'd like him better if he had someone else throwing the ball to him. Keon, you're just not getting the targets. Even with Shakir out, you're going up against a tough Baltimore team. Look for them to run the ball a decent amount. James Cook has looked great so far this year. Look for them to kind of lean on him. Um, yeah, let's go Jackson Smith. That's where I'm sitting at there. Although Downs could jump up and bite me in the butt for not picking him. I'm just going to be honest with you. Oh, yeah. Because again, I do like Flacco. I'm a big proponent of Flacco, and I think that makes Michael Pittman a play this week for sure. You're going to play Michael Pittman because you got Flacco in there. Um, don't like the offense with Anthony Richardson in it. I feel like the more I talk about this, the more I want to say Josh Downs, honestly. I'm gonna stick with Jackson Smith. Yeah, we'll stick with Jackson Smith. I'm going with my gut on this one. I think he's due. He's due to get in the end zone. How's that sound? Yep. He's got a nice target share. Full PPR, Trey Sermon or Javonte Williams. Trey Sermon's getting a running back by committee treatment. Javonte, he hasn't looked great this year. He's playing Vegas. I think still no Max Crosby. 6 for 77 last week. The PPR element doesn't play too big of a role in it for Javonte. 2, 4, 5, 1, 48, 29, 3. Up against Vegas, I like that matchup. I think I want to go Trace or no, I'm sorry, not Trace, Javonte. I want to go Javonte. Because he's still getting the majority of the carries out there. Yeah, Javonte seems to kind of have a little bit of a hold on that backfield situation there. Let me go with Javonte Williams. Trey Sermon, I just don't trust. Just gonna be honest. And they've said it's a running back by committee. So if Trey Sermon isn't doing anything, he ain't gonna get the ball, and Trey Sermon typically isn't doing anything. Right. I do like the matchup against Jacksonville, but let's say Tyler Goodson steps it up and has a couple big runs. Now Trey Sermon's out of it. Right. Deep lead. Tolbert or Conklin flex PPR. Give me Tolbert with Brandon Cooks out. No Brandon Cooks this week. So Tolbert will be the number 2 guy there. And Tolbert hasn't been awful, right? We can say that about Tolbert. Receptions this year 1, 6, 3, 3. Yards 12, 82, 42, 24. He got a touchdown back on week 3. He does have a tougher matchup, but I like Tolbert more than Conklin. Conklin, you don't know what you're getting. Plus the travel, right? They're playing in London. That tends to have an effect on the players. Give me Tolbert there. In the flex, definitely have a higher ceiling there. Ferguson or Bowers. I like Ferguson. Brock Powers hasn't looked awful. Still no Devontae this week, right? It looks like I think Ferguson's the better play there. He hasn't really gotten going yet this year. He dealt with the injury, missed some time, but the targets are there. I'm going Ferguson. I'm going Ferguson there. I just more potential, better quarterback situation. No Brandon Cooks like I talked about with the Tolbert decision. No Brandon Cooks there, so that's one less guy. The number 2 guy is out, right? It's him and Lamb probably. Yeah, it's him and Lamb. Um, you got Lamb, you got Tolbert, you got Ferguson. Ferguson has been known to be a red zone target too. But Ferguson's the better play there. Give me Ferguson, better quarterback, better offense. Yeah, it is tough with that Pittsburgh defense. That Pittsburgh defense is pretty good, but there's a possibility. Dallas can't run the ball, so they're going to throw it. How about that? Broncos D has been good. I mean, how many yards did Bo Nix have last week? Like 68 yards, and they got the win. If they could get things figured out offensively, excuse me. If the Broncos could get things figured out offensively, they're a dangerous team. A dangerous team. But Bo Nix hasn't figured much out. Again, 68 yards last week. Sean Payton's supposed to be this offensive genius, and he can't get this offense going. If he gets that offense going, Denver is tough with the way that defense is playing. That defense is playing great. And if they could just get a mediocre offense going there in Denver, they're going to be a lot of trouble for a lot of teams. Jordan Addison. That's easy for me. DJ Moore, Jordan Addison, PPR. I'm going Jordan Addison. Squeeze Duke. We all need Amari Cooper to step up, but that's going to be tough because Deshaun Watson's throwing to him, and Deshaun Watson isn't great. Deshaun Watson is bad. I don't like Deshaun Watson. He's been awful for Amari. Amari was great last year when Flacco came in. But yeah, no, Xander, DJ Moore, Jordan Addison. I'm not going DJ Moore. I'm going Jordan Addison. Sam Darnold's a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. Now, Jordan Addison only had one catch last week in his return from the injury, but that one catch was for a touchdown. Did you see the clip that was going around? That's the reason Peyton chose Nix. No, I didn't. Xavier Worthy or Zay Flowers at flex. Xavier Worthy. No Rashee Rice. Xavier Worthy is going to be the guy there. Him and Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster could be a sneaky pickup, guys. It got in the end zone last week, if I'm not mistaken. Zay Flowers, Baltimore's not passing the ball. Baltimore's running the ball. They got Derrick Henry, and they're going to run. And that's what they've been doing is run. Zay Flowers is Xavier Worthy is a much safer play, right? Better quarterback, an offense that is going to pass the ball a lot. They're looking for Worthy the ball, whether it's in the pass or the run game. Baltimore's not doing things to make sure Zay Flowers gets the ball. Kansas City's making sure there's ways that they get Xavier Worthy to get the ball because he makes things happen. Jack, I'm going Xavier Worthy there. One play, the guy thinks he was the second coming of Montana. I asked everyone else, and they said start Flowers. I'm going Xavier Worthy, man. Let's look at the numbers real quick. Zay Flowers. He's got you one touchdown this year. Weeks 1 and 2, huge targets. 10, 11, 6 catches, 7 catches. The last 2 weeks, 4 targets, 2 targets, 3 catches, 1 catch, 20 yards, 1 yard, 10 yards. Cincinnati, not a great defense, but you're not getting much outside of weeks 1 and 2, right? With Worthy, again, they're finding ways to get him the ball. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season. Target share is not great. 3, 4, 4, 4 receptions, 2, 2, 2, 3, but 47 yards and a touchdown. 17 last week, 73 and a touchdown. Plus, He's getting rushing attempts. He didn't get any rushing attempts last week, but week 1, he had 1 run for 21 yards and a touchdown. So he's actually got 3 touchdowns on the season. 1 rush, 5 yards, and then 3 and 13. You're going up against New Orleans, which, okay, they're a pretty decent defense. But yeah, I just think I like Xavier Worthy, especially with Rice out now. No Rashee Rice. You got to factor that in. Someone's got to catch the ball. He's going to be slinging the ball. Xander, Rico or Akers to start. My 0 RB is failing half PPR. I don't like Rico Dowdle. I don't like the Dallas run game. It's a running back by committee. I just no. I'm not playing anybody for Dallas. It's just not happening. In running back wise. Akers, I don't like Akers, but he's the lesser of the 2 evils. He's the lead back out there. He's going to get more carries. He's going to have more potential to get it. I know the run is bad for Dallas. Yeah. Flowers is a start if you think Cincy will make Baltimore play from behind. Anything else, and it's Worthy. But I don't think Baltimore's going to be playing from behind. I think Baltimore handles Cincinnati. Aubrey the only sure thing. Aubrey is the only sure thing there in Dallas. I have to worry about Lattimore on Worthy. Yeah, but the Worthy and that speed, and they're going to find ways to get him the ball. They're going to find ways to get him the ball because that's you got to think you're dealing with the offensive mind of Andy Reid. Andy Reid's pretty good at this whole football coaching thing. And when he's got a weapon like Worthy, he finds a way to get the guy the ball. I don't think I just don't see it. I see Baltimore getting up, and I see Baltimore pounding the ball. Mahomes has looked rusty, but Worthy has the Usain Bolt speed. He does. Yeah, Mahomes, and we talked about it. Someone asked, what are we doing with Mahomes? If you got the balls, bench him. He's got five interceptions and 6 touchdowns on the year. 2 of those touchdowns, those passing touchdowns, have gone to Worthy. 2 of Mahomes' 6 passing TDs have gone to Worthy. So look at that. Better defense, San Francisco versus Kyler or Seattle versus not neighbors. I'm taking Seattle. San Francisco has looked off all year, guys. And here's the other thing to factor in. I don't understand it, but Arizona always gives San Francisco a run for their money. Year in, year out, change the players, change the coaches. It's just the way it is. Arizona always plays San Francisco tough. I don't like Kyler. But you know who I like less than Kyler? Daniel Jones. I like the Seattle defense versus and it's not just no neighbors, it's no Singletary either. Who Singletary's looked pretty decent this year. I dropped Cleveland's defense and picked up Seattle for this week. Yeah. Cleveland's defense isn't what it was. Cleveland's defense isn't a top 5 defense like it was last season, guys. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that their offense is trash. And so the defense spends a ton of time on the field, and so they're tired. But for this week, with Seattle playing the Giants, yes. Keep trade cut. Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Bijan Robinson, half PPR. Man. I wanna. We're just talking just this season. Okay. I'm gonna trade Bijan because I can get the most for Bijan. I'm going to cut Aaron Jones and I'm going to keep Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara's looked good this year. I can get the most out of Bijan in a trade, and he hasn't looked that great this year. Um, Aaron Jones he's okay, but Alvin Kamara's been great this year. My team is stacked. My best players are Jefferson, Kyron, DK. I guess Hurts. Not bad. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's where I'm going with that one, Xander. I like Kamara this year. I can get the most trade value out of Bijan, so that leaves Aaron Jones on the chopping block. Yeah, Hurts. I don't like Hurts. Now, he's also been playing down wide receivers, right? So cutting Jones feels wrong, but that's the right answer. It does feel a little bit wrong, but I'm not cutting Bijan or Alvin Kamara, right? And Bijan just hasn't been what we thought he was going to be. And then with Kirk Cousins is just slinging the ball. So my bad, that ain't what I'm saying a lot. I'm just really excited. Yeah, hey, be excited, man. If I had Jefferson, Kyron, and DK, I'd be pretty excited. Heck, I'd just be excited if I had Jefferson. I'll go ahead and admit it now. I wasn't going after Justin Jefferson this year because I didn't believe in Sam Darnold, but so far Sam Darnold's made a believer out of me this year. So what would you go get for Robinson, redraft or dynasty? Um, I don't know that I want to go get Bijan. Like it, we're 2 years in, or we're on season 2. We're just not seeing it. I I don't know. He's got to figure something out. I would trade. I would trade him. I would trade Bijan Robinson in a heartbeat if I had him right now. You'll get more from him in a dynasty than you will in a redraft. Um, but yeah, I would trade him away in a heartbeat. I'm a Bills fan though, so another reason to be excited but worried about this week's game. This week's game is going to be tough. 4 point per TD, Murray, Flacco, or Smith. Flacco. In Flacco, we trust. Last week in limited time, Flacco had 168 yards and 2 TDs. Kyler's not good. I don't mind Geno going up against the Giants. The only issue with Geno is you can see that team turning to the run with Kenneth Walker and just ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound, getting up early, getting up big, and just running and running and running and running and running. Um, the Colts don't. If Jonathan Taylor was playing, that would affect my opinion on Flacco for this week because then you could see the Colts just ground and pound, right? But no Jonathan Taylor. You're going with Trey Sermon and Tyler Robinson. I think the guy's name is. You're doing a running back by committee there. I'm not excited about that backfield. Flacco's going to throw the ball. I really like Chuba Hubbard this week. I mean, Chuba Hubbard until Jonathan Brooks comes back. I like. I like. I haven't seen what his matchup is for this week. Playing Chicago. Chicago will give up the run. Um, but 2 weeks with Andy Dalton, he's had over 100 yards rushing. No reason not to like him. Yeah. I don't have Chuba in any of my leagues, but you know what? I might throw him in on a FanDuel, a little DFS action. Uh, Pat Mahomes or Geno PPR 6 point. Oh, buddy. Um, do you have the balls to bench Mahomes? Again, it boils down to that. I think I might for Geno. I mean, Mahomes hasn't looked good. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it, talk about it. Um, I'm not dropping Mahomes, but I might go ahead and bench him and play Geno. Yeah. JMO, man, I can't do it. I said I have Mahomes in 2 leagues. I'm not dropping him. Um, probably benching him this week in a couple. I can't remember who I have as the backups in those leagues, but sounds insane. It does sound insane to bench him. But here's the other thing, guys. Once we decide to go ahead and bench Pat Mahomes, he's going to ball out. And that's why I said it doesn't matter if that's what I say. Do you have the balls to bench him? If you do, go for it. Live with your choice. Live with your decision. But it's tough. But I might do it for Geno. Yeah. Better defense: Kansas City versus Cardinals, Saints versus Mahomes or Commanders. I'm going Commanders versus the Browns. The Saints have a good offense. They will. Derek Carr will sling the ball. Alvin Kamara. We talked about Kamara already. We talked about a little bit earlier. He's been having a great year. Commanders have just. I like the Commanders. I went into this year not even doing a double take on Jane Daniels, and now I'm saying you have to start Jane Daniels. If I had Jane Daniels or Pat Mahomes, I'm starting Jane Daniels. How's that? I am. Jane Daniels has been great this year. I'm excited about the kid. I got to watch him play a couple weeks ago. Loved it. Exciting. Fun. Dude, I like Jane Daniels. I get excited talking about Jane Daniels. The Browns are trash. I'm taking the Commanders defense over the Kansas City defense. Um, and you're playing the Browns. You're going to get a couple picks, maybe. Let's see here. Sounds insane. I traded him at the start of the season. There you go. I benched for Baker. Yes. 100% bench Pat Mahomes for Baker. The elite Joe Flacco it is then, dude. Joe Flacco is just, I don't know how to explain it. Had that struggle with Pitts this week. Glad I stuck with him. Pitts had a good week this week. I went all in on Kyle Pitts this year, guys. I went all in on Drake London this year. I 100% love Pitts and London. And then finally this week, it really started to pay off. Hopefully, they keep building on that. I think part of it is, Cousins is coming back from that big injury, an Achilles injury, taking a few weeks to kind of get in the swing of things, but also build up that chemistry with the guys, right? But yeah, kudos for sticking with Pitts. I regret trading Pittman now. I mean, with Flacco in there, I like Pittman. What'd you get for him? I'm curious about that, Jack. What did you get for him? So, do you like Shaheed over Addison this week for my flex 12-team full PPR redraft? Shaheed or Addison? That one's a little tougher. Addison only got one catch last week. It was a touchdown. How many targets did he have? Oh, I'm sorry. He had 3 catches last week. And he had 2 touchdowns. He ran one in. Jets defense is decent. Give me Addison. Give me Addison. Should I keep CMC throughout the season? Yeah, I don't want to drop him. I don't know if he's going to play, but I don't want to drop him because the thing is, if CMC does come back and he's worth anything, it's going to be during playoff time. You don't want to be in the playoffs playing the guy that picked up CMC after you dropped him. Hopefully you got an IR spot. You can sit him on your IR. What we got here? Ertz or Mark Andrews. I feel he's going to go off on my bench if I don't start him. I I'm starting Ertz, and it kills me to say that. Absolutely kills me to say that because I love, love, love Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is my boy. I've been going after him year after year after year in all my drafts. I've stood by him through thick and thin. But I got one target last week, guys. I'm going to put him on my bench and I'm going to hope he hurts me and just balls out because I love Mark Andrews. But I'm going to go with Ertz and I'm going to bench Mark Andrews. You got Flowers and Chuba. Okay. I think you'll be okay with that. I don't think Flacco starts for the rest of the year. Anthony Richardson will get back in there. And when he does, Michael Pittman's null and void again, right? So, but no, I don't hate getting Flowers and Chuba for Michael Pittman. Who knew, right? I wouldn't regret it. I think he'll be fine. Um, I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be okay. I'm thinking either the defense will be good or offense will be amazing because of travel. Yeah, you never know with those travel games, right, guys? Let's see here. I'd go Shaheed. Casey feels like they like to take away opposing offense's best weapon, Olave. I don't even know if Olave is the best weapon there. I like Shaheed. That's me. I like Shaheed. Okay, should I trade Kyle Pitts and Rashid White for Josh Jacobs? No, I'm not. Um, I'm not. We're because if you get rid of Kyle Pitts, who you playing, right? Um, Josh Jacobs, I worry about late in the season. High usage, high uses with Josh Jacobs the last couple of years. So, yeah, Trey Sermon or Javonte Williams. I'm going Javonte Williams, guys. Um, more opportunity. He's going to get the ball more than Trey Sermon's going to get the ball. And we know the Colts are going to throw the ball. I have Trey McBride and Evan Ingram to replace Kyle Pitts. Okay. But here's the thing. Do you think Josh Jacobs is going to be that much better than Rashid White? I mean, so far this season, he has been. But you're also dealing with injuries with both. Like right now, McBride and Ingram are both out because of injuries, too. So, yeah. He did go, but I could see Kyle Pitts keeping this going forward again. I went all in on Kyle Pitts this year, guys. I have him in the majority of my leagues. I'm playing him in the majority of my leagues. I'm buying in on it. I think hopefully this is just the beginning of better things to come for Kyle Pitts and that Atlanta offense. So something I was thinking, or someone I have on the IR, Rice or Puka. I mean, Puka's coming back this year. So, start Stroud or Love. I haven't been excited about Stroud this year. Playing Buffalo, he had 345 yards last week and 2 TDs. It's the only good week that he's really had against Jacksonville. Here's the thing with Jordan Love, though. You know they're going to throw the crap out of the ball there. Just now, you got to worry about the interceptions, but he's also going to get a lot of touchdowns. Um, Playing the Rams, I think I'm going to go Jordan Love. Give me Jordan Love. Is Purdy a must start? I don't know that I'd say a must start. The question came up to me last week, Baker or Purdy, and I went Baker, and Baker was better. Um, they're playing Arizona. You know they're going to run the crap out of the ball. You haven't seen a ton out of Brock Purdy this year, guys. Um, no, I wouldn't say Purdy's a must start. He's not on my list of I'm playing him every week. I think the only reason you don't start Love is if you think Green Bay blows out the Rams early. But the Rams are going to keep fighting, and they're going to keep slinging the ball. Um, I don't think it's going to be I don't think it'll be a blowout. In a grandma league, what's a grandma league? I'm not familiar with that, Jordan. Need to sit to CD, Debo, Jalen Reed, or Pickens. Um, Pickens. Pickens for sure. I don't know that. I don't know that I want to say this. I kind of want. Hold on. Let's not get out of control here. I'm gonna sit Pickens, and I'm gonna sit 6-player league. Okay, that's what I mean by grandma. Okay. Debo. I'm gonna sit Debo and Pickens. That's what I want to do. That's crazy to say. Um, but I'm not benching CD, and I think I'm gonna play Jaden Reed. Can't believe I was the last pick in the first round, 10th. I got Jefferson. I believe it. Jefferson fell a lot in a lot of drafts, Jack, because of Sam Darnold, and now he's doing great because of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's been slinging it. I could sit one of them, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know that I sit Mason Kamara or Kyron. Um, so I play Mason Kamara, Kyron, CD, and Jaden. Yeah, I'm playing Mason Kamara and Kyron, and so yeah, so I'm going to play CD and Jaden. There's just San Francisco's off this year, and the only thing I believe. Oh, Jack, you're going to be at the Dallas and Detroit game, dude. That's awesome. Do you live in the DFW area, Jack? That's where I'm at. I live in the DFW area. I was actually born up in Detroit. Got the Tigers hat. I'm a huge Detroit guy. I'm actually not going to the game next week. I kind of wanted to, but I'm not. No, you're just going to be in town. Okay, yeah. I live here in the DFW area. I haven't gone the last several times that Detroit's been here. It's so expensive to go to that stadium. Like you're paying like $60 to park, plus your tickets, plus $15 beers. I stay in Dallas too, State Fair. Okay. All right, we got some Dallas boys in here. There we go. I'm in Arkansas right now. Okay. Yeah, it's just so expensive to go to the game. It really is. And I would almost rather just sit at home and watch it, which is what I'm gonna do. But no, that's awesome. The stadium's nice. I don't know if you've been to the stadium yet. It's a really, really nice stadium. It's just really, really expensive. So The last one I went to, um, yes, sir, Oak Cliff. Okay, there we go. Michael's over at Oak Cliff. Went to the Rams Chiefs game in 2022. Awesome. But yeah, no, we're out here locally in the DFW area. Me and my partner Rapid Dave. I'm more on the Fort Worth side of things, and he's more on the Dallas side of things, side of town. But yeah, I can't wait for that game. I think Detroit's going out for blood. I'm playing Montgomery, Gibbs, Amon Ra, JMO, Goff. I'm playing them all next week. They got a week off, and they are hot about last year getting screwed out of that win. Right? Um, they wanted Dallas in the playoffs. They were upset they didn't play Dallas in the playoffs. And Dallas lost. Would you drop Waddle for Devontae Wicks? I need a flex this week, and Waddle isn't doing crap. He isn't doing crap, but here's my thing. I'm worried about Wicks being a 1 week outlier week because Jordan Love threw the ball 50 times. Waddle's trash until or if Tua comes back, right? Man, that's I need you don't have any other options on your bench, UNLV? Like, I don't want to drop Waddle. I maybe try and trade him, see if maybe you can get something for him. Maybe someone will give you something for him. I don't want to drop Waddle, especially we don't know if Tua's coming back. If Tua comes back, Waddle is now back in a must-play situation, right? But yeah, that's I don't know that I do it, but I mean you can't play Waddle. You got to have someone else that you can play. Let's see here. Brandon Cook's on IR, and I'm like seriously, but remembered about Kavontae Turpin. They don't want to use Kavontae Turpin. They should use him a lot more. They really should. What we got here? B Silva. Start three full flex, three flex full PPR. Well, we're not starting Stevenson. Stevenson's on the bench. Trey Tucker, McBride. You got to wait to see if McBride's going to play. Mike Williams, Mike Wilson, and Njoku. Zacharias is free right now. Man, I don't like your options. I can't. Mike Williams. If McBride plays, I'm playing McBride. I don't like Njoku. What has Wilson done this year? I mean, he's been okay. I mean, the last 2 weeks, 9 targets and 7 targets, 8 catches, 3 catches, 64 yards, 38 yards. Man, I'm going Mike Williams and Trey Tucker. No Devontae. I like Tucker. I don't like Mike Wilson. I don't like Njoku, Zachariah now. Give me Trey Tucker and Mike Williams. Would consider doing McBride over Williams if McBride is playing, but Tucker and then Mike Williams. Yeah. Do you think Chiefs go after D Hop? Chiefs got to do something. They got to figure something out, right? I think you keep an eye on what's going on with Hollywood, and maybe they try and get him back a little bit sooner, but you don't want to rush him back. Yeah, the Chiefs will do something. They're not going to stand pat. They're going to end up doing something. I'm curious to see what they do. D Hop's not the same player that he was, but I like him better with Mahomes throwing to him than Will Levis. Shocker, right? Start 2 PPR. Higgins, Wicks, Bryant. I don't. ETN is. I'm going Higgins and Wicks. Um, I don't like Jacksonville. I'm staying away from Jacksonville. So I'm going Higgins and Wicks there and Savvy. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Let's see here, Jack. Alan Lazard in free agency. Should I grab him? I don't think I need him though because I have Jefferson, Zay, DK, Worthy. And, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't drop any of those guys for Alan Lazard. So my question would be, who would you be dropping? Like, yeah, you don't need them, but I I like the guys that you have over Alan Lazard. I'm not dropping any of those receivers you listed. Because someone just dropped him, but I have Addison, Shaheed, and McConkey, so I don't want to pull the trigger. Yeah, I wouldn't pull the trigger for any of those guys. Um, yeah, stand pat. Don't don't do it. Keep Addison, Shaheed, and McConkey. I like those guys more. With Chase and London as my starters, yeah. You don't need to. Don't get crazy, Michael. Okay, let's not get crazy. Even if they do pull the trigger and get D Hop, he's not the same player that he was, and you don't know what he's gonna do there, right? Yeah, let's not get crazy, Michael. All right, you're just talking crazy talk now. We're not doing that. Let's just leave D Hop there. Someone dropped him, cool. Don't fall in love with the player that he used to be versus the player that he is. So, all right, I'm getting ready to go for the night, guys, but we'll answer a few more questions before we get out of here. I have 3 top 10 receivers in my rankings right now: Jefferson, DK, and Jennings, so I'm all good. Yeah. Yeah, you're good, Jack. I wouldn't yeah. You're right. Yeah, I know, Michael. I'm gonna be the voice of reason here. Okay. And like I said, even if they do, don't drop any of those guys for D Hop. Because again, he's not the player that he was. Let's pump the brakes. Let somebody else make a mistake. How about that? Now, I don't know that you would like regret it if you don't get him because I think Addison, Shaheed, and McConkey are all going to have good seasons. Um, I like that the Chargers have their bye week this week. It gives Herbert time to heal and get healthy. Um, we're sitting. Herbert's going to sit for the week. Oh no, Jack, don't no. Hey, that's why we're here, Jack. We're here. I'm here every Saturday night between 9. I go live between, actually, I don't say 9, between 10 and 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. Just depends on when I get a chance to sit down in front of the computer. And I come on here for an hour and a half here lately because we've had a lot of people in here, which is great. Thank you, everyone who's come in. The guys who are in here every week, the new guys who come in like you this week, Jack. I appreciate it. This helps me too, right? If you're new, make sure you drop a follow on it. Um, we go live every Wednesday. Me and my partner Rapid Dave go live every Wednesday. We throw a ton of shorts out with advice, things like that. I'm live every Saturday night. Sometimes you get a Sunday morning stream depending on what Rapid Dave's got going on with his stuff. But we're always here for you guys. I'll be your sounding board. We're going to answer these next couple questions before I get out of here. Hunter, would you start Zach Moss or Shaheed for flex PPR? I want to thank you, Jack. I appreciate the subscription, man. Do I want Zach Moss? I like Shaheed. I do. I've been talking up Shaheed all day. Um, I think I want to go Shaheed. I do. Um, I like the matchup that Shaheed has more. Now, you could also factor in the fact that with Moss being a running back, he's definitely going to get the ball more than Shaheed is. Uh, PPR, man, that is a pretty tough one. Baltimore is tough. I could see Cincy having to throw the ball a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Shaheed. Almost stick with. Is Tank Bigsby worth looking at on the waivers? Yes, he is. Adam. ETN's looked awful, but the whole Jacksonville team has looked awful. It would just depend on who you're dropping to pick them up. I wouldn't get crazy with anything. If you have someone who's not that great sitting down there on your bench, who's never going to see the light of day, it might be worth it for Bigsby. But I would just have to know who you're dropping. But yeah, I would definitely look at. I'm not excited about it because I'm not excited about Jacksonville this year. Jacksonville's just been bad. Now, if Jacksonville gets a new head coach in here, that could change my thoughts. But right now, with coaching the way it is, the way that team is being run right now, I'm out on them. ETN, I made the proclamation several weeks ago that Gibson and Tracy. Uh, Gibson's a starter now, so I'm definitely keeping Gibson over Bigsby. Tracy is getting a start this week, so maybe see what happens. It's an injury start, right? But if Tracy comes in and plays really well, he could keep Singletary on the bench. But I think with those guys, I think I keep those guys another week to see what they do in their positions. No one's rushing out there to get Bigsby. No one's going crazy because Bigsby's on the waivers. There's a reason why he's on the waivers. He's a backup running back on a bad team. Um, but I like Gibson this week because he's starting, and I like Tracy this week because he's starting. Those are two guys that I wouldn't mind putting in my lineup, depending on with all the bye weeks and all the injuries. Those are two guys that I might have to start this week, right? They are. Yeah, especially because I think what type of a league are you in there? Are you PPR or standard? I mean, PPR definitely makes a difference, especially with Gibson, because Gibson's going to get receptions. So I would definitely keep Gibson over Bigsby. And Tracy, again, I want to see what the kid does this week. So I would want to wait a week to see what happens before I pull the trigger on something for either one of those guys. I'm probably saying I'm keeping Gibson over Bigsby kind of regardless. Full PPR, yeah. So I'm definitely keeping Gibson. And Tracy, I want to see what he does this week. They drafted him for a reason. This is a guy that they like, that they want to get the ball to. Singletary being out this week, barring, he's not ruled out. He's doubtful. So he's probably out, right? I want to see what Tracy does this week because Tracy could be pretty decent back there. So I want to see what he does because I think he has a better chance of getting the starting role versus ETN. ETN's going to be a starter there unless he gets hurt. Let's just face it. That's just the way it's going to be. Bigsby's going to get his carries and, he's going to do what he can with those opportunities. But you've got a potential for Gibson's already been named the starter and Tracy's a starter, going to be starter this week. A potential of both those guys being starters on their teams. So that's what I'm going to go with that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go for the night. Thank you guys so much for coming in, stopping in. Thank you guys for the new subs. Definitely appreciate the guys who have been around for a while. Thank you. If you came in and you haven't dropped a sub yet, drop a sub. Just do it. Tell a friend, all that fun stuff. I appreciate it, guys. As always, I'm Alan, and I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.